This latest UN report shows some very, very frightening predictions. So nobody is doing well enough.
Well, to that point, Professor Hughes, almost all regions are likely to become warmer in the next 5 years. Where are we likely to see the most drastic changes, though?
Well, it's hard to say, really. We're seeing changes everywhere. There's no part of the world that's immune. Though some countries, such as those low-lying Pacific nations that are really vulnerable to sea level rise and storm surge, those countries that around the equator that are very vulnerable to tropical cyclones, which are rising in impact and intensity, we're likely to see more Category 6 cyclones occurring. Fire-prone countries like Australia, like parts of Europe, like parts of the eastern US and Canada, likely to see more severe bushfires. It's really difficult to locate a country around the world that won't be affected in some way.
All right, well, many thanks for speaking to us this evening. We've been speaking with Professor Lesley Hughes from Macquarie University. Now, the United States wants to put the climate crisis at the center of its agenda. But at a local level, there are doubts if change will be felt. In Pennsylvania, residents of one town believe contaminated waters has killed its people, and they want help. Kate Fisher report with more.
Growing up near two military bases, as children, Joanne Stanton and Hope Gross loved to stand at this fence, watching as members of the Navy torched an aeroplane during their weekly fire drills.
The plane sat right in the middle.
They had no idea the spectacle was leaching dangerous chemicals known as PFAS into their water.
And if you get down the hill there at the street, that's where there's like a little creek.
In 1990, my dad was diagnosed with cancer and passed away within like 30 days. The neighbor right next door here, he had passed away 3 months before my dad from a brain tumor. All of our 8 pets that we've had growing up all had cancerous tumors and died, every single one of them. So about 3 months after we buried my father, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Joanne's son developed a brain tumour at 6 years old.
There were 3 of us who grew up in Warminster on the same street within a few houses, and we each had children with the same type of brain tumour. You can imagine how gut-wrenching it was to comprehend the fact that my exposure may have actually caused my child's cancer.
The Department of Defence closed the base in 1997, but the pollution remains.
This is the runway. I mean, they would fly in and land this whole strip.
The activist organisation, the Environmental Working Group, estimates that 85,000 homes in the area have unsafe drinking water.
I find it ironic that the very entity whose job it is to protect the American people has actually given a lot of American people and their own military cancer and other diseases.
I feel for me and for my family and for this whole community, like we were poisoned without consent. You know, we were poisoned. It's the bottom line. We can sit here as Americans and our own federal government is poisoning us.
Well, hello again, everyone.
But US President Joe Biden has pledged to change things, promising access to safe drinking water for all and to hold polluters accountable. And he says he can create jobs while doing it.
That's why when people talk about climate, I think jobs. Within our climate response lies an extraordinary engine of job creation and economic opportunity, ready to be fired up.
Our chemistry.
One such business is sustainable chemistry startup Sudoc.
We've, in the last 6 months, created 10 jobs. I would imagine in the next year, we're going to create 50, 100 jobs. In the next 5 years, I would hope we create 1,000 jobs.
The company's developed a product which it says can replace and eliminate toxic chemicals in the environment.
It has the power of a super strong chemical like chlorine or quatrimonium, which are, great cleaners, but it disappears. So it doesn't stay around. And we have a very strong set of evidence that we do not disrupt the systems of human beings. But we're not just going to take our evidence. We're going through third-party testing.
That kind of innovation has come too late for Hope and Joanne, but their wish is that a president who says he wants to create a greener America will keep his promises and ban the chemicals which have marred so many lives. Kate Fisher, CNA, Warminster, Pennsylvania.
Still to come, Southeast Asia's largest telco is eyeing a new strategy to boost profits. And how frog skin and fish scales can repair the human body.
Should you use your CPF for property investment? Come to the Singapore Property Show 2021 to learn more from leading property market experts in 40 informative webinars. Our top flight speakers will be covering a wide range of topics to help you make a most informed decision. How do you make the most of your CPF for property investment? Are ECs still the golden goose? Is owning multiple properties only for the wealthy? What kind of property is in demand by district? Get these answers and more. Plus, stand to win $8,000 worth of cash prizes. Join us at our webinars this weekend on 29th and 30th May for essential property investment advice. What are you waiting for? Visit sps2021.99.co to register now. The Singapore Property Show 2021 is proudly organised by MediaCorp and our esteemed partners.
It's a human catastrophe of epic proportions. Thousands are dying every day in India as it battles the raging coronavirus crisis.
हमारे सामने उन्होंने दम तोड़ा, हम कुछ नहीं कर पाए। मेरी वाइफ चली गई, मेरे दोनों ब्रदर इन लॉ गए और मदर इन लॉ एक्सपायर्ड हो गई।
Has India lost control of the pandemic?
If you step out right now, you step out to die.
India's COVID catastrophe. Insight tonight on CNA.
I'm getting my COVID-19 vaccine.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in.
And documenting all my side effects. Bam, the soreness set in. But with cases of infection among those who are vaccinated, how protected am I?
Now what we're seeing are actually mutants, which are quite different from the original strand.
Talking Point, Friday 9:30 p.m. on CNA.
What are the financial forces driving Asia's rise, from transnational business expansions and technology for digital growth to untapped opportunities in the region and beyond? Understand the trends, innovations and corporate deals that are building Asia. On Asia First, Monday mornings on CNA.
So little land with so many mouths to feed.
Land matters. The future is going to be really challenging.
Dan akhirnya dibuang seperti ini dengan mubazir sangat disayangkan sekali. Ini adalah solusinya.
We can turn Singapore into a protein powerhouse overnight, but people don't understand what we're doing.
Women farmers are the solution for the food security problem.
Race to Feed the World, Monday on CNA.
Updating business now, Singtel is eyeing a new strategy to help turn the tide on shrinking profits. The Singapore telco has posted an annual net profit of 554 million Sing dollars. That's a 49% on-year drop. Brennan Tanoto with more.
The pandemic weighed heavily on Singtel's latest earnings, but it's also presenting new opportunities.
They also have some tailwinds, which is really about the pace of digitalization and the acceleration and adoption of digital services and solutions by both consumers as well as enterprises.
Singtel will be focusing on areas like 5G and developing new growth in Infocom technology and digital services. It also has new plans for its infrastructure assets.
Things like towers in Australia, data centers in Singapore, submarine cables, fiber assets are all fueling the digital economy. And this, some of these assets will not just be looking at divesting it, but also looking at turning them into new growth engines. For example, in partnering different solution provider to